Hello and welcome back to the Orlando Adventures podcast. I'm your host Russ, and today I am joined by two more incredible guests. We have Brogan and Harrison. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
How are you?
for having us.
I'm very good. I'm so excited to chat with you both. Like, genuinely, I've been watching your vlogs. I've been following your Instagram. And there's so much going on. So I'm excited to chat to you about it. And I suppose there's no better place to start than saying congratulations, because you have just come back from getting married, have you not?
We have. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you so much. It's been a whirlwind the past few months, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's been loads of behind the scenes planning and making sure everything went smoothly, but overall it was
10 out of 10.
It was perfect. It went well.
10 out of 10. Pictures look amazing. Like, it looks like you've just had the best time. And I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. So
no, thank you.
Yeah, honestly, my pleasure. And I suppose to get into who you both are then. Who are Brogan and Harrison? Like, kind of what's your social media channels all about?
Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah.
You're first in Brogan and Harrison.
Yeah, Brogan and Harrison, I guess the leader of the pack. We just love sharing like everything we get up to. We love to visit new places. We love to just travel and see things. Obviously, I've been a Disney gal my whole life. And I've introduced Harrison to it as we've met.
Yeah, that's true.
You've become a Disney adult as well.
I think that was the thing. It was obviously a lot of the stuff recently we've had on is we've had quite a few adventures to Disney, and because we've kind of always documented everything we got up to, it's nice to kind of bring that into it, because a lot of the times you do anything Disney wise or even Orlando wise, which we'll obviously touch on, it's always a first for me. So I think it's quite nice for not only us to kind of record it and look back on, but I know from speaking to people through social media, there's also other partners of other couples we speak to who are doing things for the first time or have never been to Disney or Orlando, and it's like to kind of live through that together is cool.
You bring the magic to the people.
Yeah, 100%. And do you like kind of record any and all travel kind of like trips that you do, or are you just in Orlando? Where are you at?
Everything gets recorded.
We love just travel, and bringing Orlando into it is just, that's like the whole, it's just been amazing bringing that into it as well. But we just love documenting what we get up to, because that's what we like to see.
Yeah,
so.
we just wanted to replicate content that we enjoy engaging
and we
with
love watching like Disney and Orlando content. So for us to then be able to do that again this year, we were like, it was exciting.
Yeah. Let's go for it. I suppose off the back of that, did you have any inspiration from kind of like other vloggers, content creators in particular?
Yeah, so I think for us, the kind of two main ones we'd always looked at, mainly, I guess, the crossover with Orlando and kind of, theme parks and traveling in general, was UK based. We love Theme Park Worldwide.
Adventure.
Yeah,
we love them.
We actually, on our last trip, we were kind of we landed really late, decided we were going to run into Disney, and we ended up bumping into them both in Disney, which was really cool. So we had
amazing.
So that was cool. But we also US based.
Our favorite like Orlando vlogger is Kyle Palo.
Yeah.
We
Cool.
love Kyle Palo. It's just
relatable and
fun, and it's always good time.
And that's it. Yeah, a couple of like absolute OGs as well. Like, definitely. I'd say like Sean and Charlotte. Like, honestly, they're wicked. They're just such nice people.
That's what we said.
Honestly, we stood there and we just said, "Oh, hey, do you mind if we grab a photo?" And we ended up having like this kind of 10-minute conversation. They were just so
as lovely as off
camera
as they are on camera. We were like, it was a good day.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic! I bet that was wicked. How long has your YouTube been going for then?
So I think so initially we kind of, when it first started, you were kind of running everything just for yourself,
it was,
wasn't it? So
the back end of 2020. It was a lockdown channel, of course, which most channels were, and I kind of like I was at a performing arts college that all shut down, so my whole world shut down. So then I took like my creative side to like YouTube, and then obviously Harrison was always in the videos anyway. So we just carried on. I mean, we don't watch like TV shows. Like all we watch is vlogs, like
Is YouTube. Yeah.
travel vlogs, Orlando vlogs, Disney vlogs. So we just rolled with it.
Yeah, and I think it's just nice. Like
Why not?
it's going almost. I was just kind of in the background, just
Yeah.
there. And I think it's been nice going at it together because there's kind of, it's just more fun doing things together, and actually there's more stuff to film now as we've kind of grown, which is pretty cool as well.
And I think it would be fair to say, like, watching your vlogs, obviously I enjoy your vlogs, but you're both so, like, you're so happy, and you're so you're so up for everything, which I think is brilliant. And like, it really comes through, and it comes through that you're obviously a lovely couple and two really genuine people, that I think that comes through, and it makes your videos really natural. So
you're too kind.
me just doing my niceties, I just like throw a load of compliments at you.
It works.
Yeah.
We'll just try and keep it as real as possible. Like,
I think that's the thing. Like, even with Orlando stuff we filmed and other travel bits and bobs, there's obviously times where maybe trips haven't gone to plan, and we've always been very honest where we're like, we want to make sure we capture that as well, because we don't want people to think, oh, they've just gone here and had a great time. Like, if you have flight cancellations or hotel nightmares or food nightmares, it's like we want to make sure people are getting like the real and like authentic us.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose getting into kind of Orlando a bit then. Brogan, you were saying that you've obviously been to Orlando a lot prior to the two of you going. When was your first trip yourself then?
My first trip, sorry.
Yeah, go on, let's do first trip.
First trip.
Let's wind it back. I reckon it's a while ago, isn't it?
Was it? It was 2002, I think.
Nice. Little while ago.
I was a little dot, and then we went a couple of times, like with my family, and then I didn't go for years, and then I went, was it a while ago? Yeah. And that was like my time when it kind of like clicked, and I was old enough and like becoming an adult to know like
full appreciation of everything.
Yeah. And I've said, as like, obviously we spent a couple of years of our relationship in like a lockdown time, so we couldn't really go anywhere, and we kept saying like Orlando's on the cards, like I need to like show Harrison like we need to go to Disney. So a while ago was my first.
Yeah, which leads us on to when was your first trip, or when was your trip together then?
So in May this year was our first time together, but also my first time in general.
Yeah, that was his first ever visit.
Amazing.
I think we really enjoyed filming it. So we'd done Paris Disney a few times together, and I was kind of, this is pretty cool. We'd been there, and it'd been like raining, and it was like, I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be all right. And then when we got there the first time, I was like, oh, okay.
And just Orlando.
Now I get it. Yeah.
I think like, because you'd only ever been to like New York for Harrison, and Orlando and New York is very different, like America, like completely different side of the USA, and you were like completely obsessed with this new side of the USA you were seeing.
Oh, it was, I think the whole thing, the trip was just insane, and I think that's why we've just loved being able to kind of look back, even if other people aren't watching the vlogs, for us to kind of watch them back. I'm like, this is so cool to see like my first reaction to things.
Absolutely, to relive like your memories of the first time you go. But you're also going to find that, like, I suppose whenever you potentially go in the future as well, like at Brogan, you'll know this, every single trip's different. Like, it doesn't matter how many times, and I say this constantly, but like, it doesn't matter how many times you go, every single trip is different. And that is the magic of Orlando, that it doesn't matter how many times you do this, you will still have such an incredible time doing different activities, different parks, different rides, different food. Food seems to be a big one for like everyone.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's amazing. And especially like, you know, for the two of you, for you to be documenting it, for Harrison to be experiencing it for the first time, but Brogan experiencing Harrison doing it for the first time is really cool. Like, you're kind of living his first experience. I mean, that's fantastic. It really is.
It's just,
I think my the favorite like standout for me from it being my first time was the fact that like I've always been a little bit scared of rides, but I'd said to her, we're traveling all that way, we're paying the money, I'm going to make myself go and everything. So then filming my reactions coming off things the first time was like,
that was when I went to Universal, all the big rides, and I don't do upside down, I don't do very, very scary rides.
And you're like, you just go on and I'm like, Well, that was good. It was a bit fast, but it was good.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, Brogan, how many times do you reckon you've been then in terms of your total trips to Orlando at this point?
It was my 4th time when I went with Harrison for the first time.
Awesome. Love it. And where have you typically stayed in your previous trips? Have you stayed at like the same hotels, resorts?
This is how we stayed in the Rosen Inn on International Drive, and we chose that one when we went just in May because that's like for the 3 times before, even though they were like spaced out throughout my childhood.
You always
That's
did.
where
the
you,
Rosen Inn
that's
on
where you'd always
International Drive.
was that
Like-
the just the Rosen Inn or Rosen Inn International?
Yeah.
Which one was it? Yeah,
I think it's
nice.
the Rosen Inn International. I think it's
Yeah,
on paper
I
it's
think it is.
called.
Yeah, yeah,
Next
cool.
big
Yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah, that's the one. Rosen Inn International. That's the one. Yeah, to be fair, it's decent though. And like for what you essentially need the hotel for in Orlando, like
Yeah.
ticks every box. Absolutely spot on. Was there any stuff, I suppose, from your trip this year? Was there any stuff that you did outside of the parks, or did you because it was Harrison's first trip, did you stick to just like theme parks? What was kind of the setup of the trip?
So we did the parks. That was obviously the main focus, but we obviously did plenty of shopping.
Yes,
Harrison's favorite thing is obviously you've got to go to Walmart and look at all the different
absolutely.
snacks.
I mean,
So we
come
did a
on.
lot of that, but I think we're obviously already planning future trips back to Orlando already. They're already in the works,
Yeah,
but we're like talk about places we want to stay or like other things we'd like to do, which are external factors the next time.
Yeah.
But
I think it was just
Yeah.
well, I'll have to wait and see for that.
I think it was just going there and just going straight in at the deep end with the kind of Disney side, Universal side, and just
Just diving
seeing
in.
that and just kind of getting to experience it.
yeah. Did you do all 4 Disney parks and both Universal parks?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, cool. So you obviously had a jam-packed trip. Did you do any of the water parks as well, or was it just the?
We did.
Yeah.
Nice. So you went full on.
Hardcore.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, but that's the way to do it. I think the first time is just like, just go for it, and like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how hard you try, you'll never get everything in one trip. Like everyone will learn this. Like you just don't get it all in, or you think you've got it all in, but there's
Yeah.
so much more. That's it. And like you said, touched on the fact that outside of the theme parks, there is so much to do. So you can go outside of the theme parks and have like incredible days out and evenings out and all that kind of stuff, and little things like you say, going shopping, going to the outlets. The Walmart trip is absolute rite of passage for
Yeah.
anyone.
It was crazy. The
It's
first,
iconic.
the first time we went there, we checked in and Brogan was like, right, let's just go and get some water and get some bits and bobs for the room. And we jumped in an Uber and we got there and I was like, oh, whoa. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, honestly, the excitement us Brits get from going to a supermarket abroad is something else, isn't it? It really is. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Any kind of like any must-do snacks, any stuff that you're like, this is the one.
Do you know what? I think for us, like, we absolutely love anything like by Reese's, right?
Oh,
and,
peanut
yeah,
butter.
and the amount of different things, ones with like chips in, ones with this in, ones with, and we're like, gonna have to buy you all.
Yeah.
That's
And to
all.
be fair, you go down that aisle of like where they've got like, I suppose, like Reese's, Oreos, that kind of stuff, and like there's 100 variants of different stuff. And like you said, it's kind of like, well, I kind of want one, but I actually want all of them. So like,
Yeah.
so you just
Suitcase
spend
based on just eat
Yeah.
them all on the trip.
exactly that. It's like, yeah, we'll get these to bring them home, and then half of them never even make it home because you just eat them in the room. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And I suppose we touched on it a little bit, but have you got a next trip planned then? Have you got one lined up or in the works?
We have we're not very what's that word? We don't book things very far in advance.
We're more spontaneous.
I would say like
Okay.
6 months is our limit of like booking things. We're like
Yeah.
to be a
I
bit
mean, that's fair.
flexible. So we're obviously we're getting to the end of 2024. Literally since we've come back from California, we've been planning like where would we like to go, and you
to
know
see the year out, yeah.
it's in the talks. We can't like say when or what if it's going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's on the paper.
And it is.
We've already got a whole plan and like schedule of what we'd like to do there.
Yeah. Amazing. Have you? I suppose if you did go back next year, for example, is something like Epic Universe, is that high on the priorities to go to potentially?
We would like to go to Epic
Mhm.
Universe. We're mainly what we really want to do is because obviously I've not done it either. Because I don't know if you can tell, but obviously Disney's like my favorite, like our
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, 100%.
Would love to stay on site at Disney. That's like the plan.
Yeah.
But that's like we'd just
The
like
next
to
step.
experience it because we didn't hire a car the last time because you've got a like different age limits and
I think for the insurance and stuff, it was coming back
we're
like
waiting until we're like.
adding a lot to the trip.
But then also
Yeah.
sitting on drive was great, but then you do have to factor in like Ubering and stuff.
Especially
just
traveling
think-
to Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, would like to give it a go and just have a whirl.
Get a bus walking.
Yeah,
Not have to worry about Uber or who's coming
Yeah.
when or
like
Yeah,
honest.
definitely. Yeah, I can totally relate. I've never done on site. I've always been like an off-site guy. I've done villas. I've done like various rows and inns a lot of the time and stuff like that. And that on-site stay is the goal. That's the one. Is there any like specific resort that you're looking at and you're like, that's the one we want to do?
Right now we're looking at like the all-star, the ones that they
Yeah.
like to call budget hotels, but they're not really budget hotels.
No, 100%. It's still like 3 times the price of a Rose and Inn. Like,
Yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
I think that's when we're like, woo, you have to kind of factor in how much would we be paying for this? How much would you be paying for that? And
Yeah.
you've got to like, it's just, but I think that
the
is
experience of it would be
a first step up. We're aiming for an all-star resort. That's where
Yeah.
we're,
I think it'll be fantastic though. Like the reviews everyone gives for an All Stars is like amazing. So you've got all of
Yeah.
the transportation options, you've got like the Disney theming, you've still got like all of the Disney foods, like so the immersiveness is there. So I think an All Star is gotta be the one. Like absolutely. I think it'd be wicked.
Just long
I think
out.
it'd be
just long without Disney, doesn't it? You'll have Disney from the moment you wake up, go to the park, come home.
yeah, that's ideal. That's how I want
Just
it.
Disney all day.
yeah, all about the Disney. Oh, I think it's absolutely awesome. So I've got a little feature called Keep Updating Clothes, and I gave you both 3 options. And to be fair, I went really rogue and mixed in terms of what I gave you, like just bizarre. So the options I gave you were Frozen Ever After from Epcot, Fast and Furious Supercharged from Universal Studios, and Toy Story Mania from Hollywood Studios. So we got Frozen Ever After, Fast and Furious, and Toy Story Mania. What out of the 3 would you keep, update, and close?
We actually we spoke about this. We planned ahead and before we
Extensive,
said-
yeah.
we had agreed that was flat out. So what we're getting rid of, Harrison?
We're definitely getting rid of Fast and Furious. I think even when we both went on it and halfway through the ride, we were like,
What?
really?
Yeah.
What is
this?
So that's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, that's already gone. What we're going to keep the same? We're going to keep
Frozen.
Frozen the
Yeah.
same. We'll have a bit of Elsa and Anna.
I think the whole
Yeah.
thing was like that. Obviously, the queue was long, but we prioritized wanting to go on. I think the whole experience from like the queue line theme into like the actual like set itself was just.
I think
it was just awesome.
we like Frozen.
They were like Frozen, so that
in
helps.
general, so that probably does help. But we're going to change Toy Story Mania. But we did think of a reason. Harrison's got the
love
reason.
it. Here we go.
Do you know, I just get tired with having to shoot all the
Oh,
time.
honestly, that mechanism for having to shoot is the worst.
Oh.
I'm convinced that's every time we've been on it at different parks, I have lost. And I'm like, I'm sure if I just had like an ordinary, maybe like different
Pressing
mechanism or like
button or
a
something.
button or like
Yeah.
a trigger, I'd be fine. But the constant pulling and then aiming, I was like, I'm fatiguing,
Yeah.
I'm tired. And
Yeah,
Right,
no,
I love the ride. It's just, I just get tired.
Yeah. I think everyone's the same on it. Honestly, I like when they designed that and they went like, because it's such a cool idea, but at the same time, in
Yeah.
reality, it's really difficult. So yeah, I completely agree. And to be fair, your choices that you've gone for, personally, I would completely agree with as well. Like Frozen,
it.
love it.
Awesome.
Absolutely love it. I think, yeah, what a ride, what great fun, and I'm a big Frozen fan as well. So like, yeah, keep it as it is. Perfect little bit of Frozen and Fast and Furious. Yeah, like I'd have been intrigued. Brogan, have you been on Fast and Furious before? prior to
I'd never
this?
been to Universal before.
Right, so this was a
Until
first.
time.
This was a first time for both of you. Honestly, you must have come off that ride going, "What on earth is this
Yep.
rubbish?"
I think, do you know what it was? I think because we'd done a few other things that were like screen based and they were like amazing. And we
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
on and we were kind of like,
Oh,
okay. Like
Okay.
it started off all right, like getting like
And
the party
it
bus.
was the you know, like the wind shooting from the side. It was like so loud, it was hurting my ears.
I was like, what is going on?
I'm going, ow, ow. And I'm like, next day we
It's-
won't be going back on it.
No. And to be fair, had you seen like people's maybe reactions and stuff to this ride before you went on it, or did you go into it completely blind?
Completely blind, that one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because like the community on like Instagram, there's quite a lot of hate for Fast and Furious.
And do you know what? I'll
Um,
take full blame, because the only reason, if I'm brutally honest, we went on it is because as we were walking around things, it had an empty queue line, and I know you like the film, so I was like,
Yeah, I like
Fast and
films.
Furious, let's go. And then like
Yeah.
we're like, oh look, walking in all the cars, the garage,
Just
like
oblivious.
and then we got up. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
going into Universal like fully, we kind of both we had like an idea, and obviously we're seeing like we're most looking forward to the Harry Potter stuff, of course, because
Yeah.
that's just Universal.
Yeah.
But overall, because we watch more like Disney content completely like on, well, mainly YouTube is where we see all of our stuff, and like TikTok. We went to Universal, like I didn't really know what to expect at all. And obviously
Yeah.
there's not as many like on-ride POVs from Universal as there is Disney. So I'm a kind of person, I like to watch the ride before I go on it to protect
Yeah.
myself. But I went into like the simulator kind of ones, not
Completely
a clue what
blasé,
to do,
yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
like it was
Yeah.
interesting. It was fun to do.
It's a very different experience than Disney, and that's the thing. Like, I know they get compared a lot because they're both in Orlando, but they're very different parks. They're very
Yeah.
different, and what they both do well, they do differently. So like,
Yeah.
you know, the immersiveness of like Diagon Alley, as I'm sure you found, like
Oh,
Diagon
unbelievable.
Alley, Hogsmeade, like look incredible, and like I always go to this as an example, but the queue line of something like Gringotts is like when you walk
Crazy.
into Gringotts, like absolutely incredible. They do that. I would argue better than potentially what Disney do, but then Disney create magic and they create memory, like experiences way better. Like, and there's something about walking into Disney and that walk down Main Street. You can't match it. Like, yeah.
No, I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think that's why we were so glad we got to do both of them and get to experience two different sides of it. It was just like you said,
And just it was just like going back to Orlando. I knew straight away as soon as we like decided and we'd got it booked. I think we only booked it like probably this time last year for the May trip.
Yeah.
And I said from like the get-go, I was like, obviously Disney's a most, and we'll do things on like we want to go to like the outlet and stuff. I was like, we also like really need to do Universal. And mainly it was because I really wanted to go to Volcano Bay. So that's where like it's swayed, definitely do Universal side of things. And I'm glad we've done it. Like it
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you find I was gonna say, sorry, how did you find Volcano Bay?
It was, you know, because we were less impressed than what we thought we were going to be.
Really? Interesting.
I think my biggest thing was the whole thing of like the timing and being in different queues.
The tapu. Yeah.
Because there's, again, and you'll admit, a bit more of like the daredevil in the relationship on going on things. But I think we had to like queue for Krakatoa, and as everyone was going in, and that was at like 125-minute wait. But obviously then if there's something that's open where you want to just run on and maybe just do a slide, it's like, you got to sacrifice this queue. And I was like, well, I don't want to sacrifice that one, so I'm just going to have to like wait around.
Yeah.
So I think that the only kind of downside I would say. But
I think we'd definitely like to do it again and give it another go, because we love water parks. Like that is something we both love to do, and I'm more adventurous in a water park.
Than on
you
a big
can't go
roller.
upside down.
Yeah, so true.
We'll definitely give it another go, but I think it was just the day just didn't. I don't know what was going. I don't know if it was just like an off day.
It rained as well, which didn't help.
It did rain.
Never ideal in a water park, to be fair. I know you're getting wet all day, but rain in a water park just is a complete downer, isn't it?
It was. So you're like, we stood there waiting to go on a ride, already wet in the rain, and you're like,
I'm starting to get cold. Like,
Yeah.
to be fair, like I've been quite a few times to Volcano Bay, and I get what you mean though. Like, it's a great park. It looks fabulous, and the
Yeah.
feel of the park, the vibe of the park's really nice. But like the tapu system, and especially with Krakatoa being always a long wait, it can be a bit difficult because the moment you've kind of tapped in on that ride, you're locked in, and it's like, I now kind of can't do a lot, and I can go around the Fearless River for an hour.
But
We
I think we did 4 laps while we were waiting. Like, should we just go again?
Yeah, literally. I think we've all done the same thing. I mean, like, there's not that much to do, and like I appreciate you can go and like just have a sunbathe and stuff, but if it's raining, then obviously that's probably not what you're going to do. But yeah, no, it's interesting, and it'd be interesting to see what you think of it kind of the next time you go, and kind of going. I don't know how you kind of like structured your day, but I can only talk from experience. But that park, if you go straight to Krakatoa and tap in on it straight away, like that's the way to do the park. Get that one done, and then everything else generally you can go and just do throughout the day while everyone else is queuing for Krakatoa.
That's what
We
as
like-
soon as we got in, it was like
Everyone else
we're
was
on a
doing it,
mission.
so we
We're
just
like, we
copied
knew
them.
what
Yeah.
we're looking for. Obviously, going in again, you're going in like blind. We're like having to try and find where you tap into it. We're like
Yeah,
on a mission, storming around, but
it's a bit of a
That's what
maze to be fair. That park, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
we never went the same way twice. I don't
I would get
think.
lost and you'd have to pull the map out. And you're like, what? Where am I now?
Where are we? Oh, I love it. I suppose while we're talking about kind of like rides and parks and stuff, I've got my kind of like 5 main questions. And first question that I've put to everyone is, what is your favorite ride? This can be out of the whole of Orlando, any of the parks. What is your favorite ride?
I mean, I think
An easy answer, which is
Yeah.
a joint answer, is definitely Guardians Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, love it.
and that was like my one goal before we went, was to go on that one and go on Hagrid's. And I went on both, and I loved them both. But Guardians has a place in my heart, and it was just,
it was.
it was
I
so
mean,
good.
the whole we were lucky enough to get on it a few times. I mean, by like setting multiple alarms to make sure we got on the queue and all this stuff. And I think we even got like, everyone wanted the classic of getting September to come on, and it was
I
amazing.
think that was the last song we got, and it was just
the
the
whole
last ride. Of
it
the trip,
erupted, didn't it?
kinda.
Everyone was like, yes.
Oh,
was just-
I agree. I agree, though. I think it's the one. September's the one. It's something
it?
about it. It just
Yeah.
suits that ride perfectly, doesn't it? And like it, like you said, that ride is brilliant, and that kind of feeling you get off when you get off the ride, absolutely like ear to ear smiling and just like
Yeah.
laughing the whole way around it. Yeah.
That was
Oh,
we'd
absolutely.
always take a photo after smiling.
It was just like almost like a wow moment after, and especially the first time, because we tried so many days before to get the virtual queue, and then when we got it, we're like, oh my god, it's happening, and then when after
It's-
it, like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Are you quite big Marvel fans? Or are you just fairly casual on it?
You are,
Captain America.
yeah, you are far more. I mean, I'm easygoing. I like anything. I'll watch anything. Whereas you're a lot more kind of invested with Marvel. The story.
I've like grown up with Marvel, but like
Yeah.
that's what I watch. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Marvel.
To kind of like, I'm a big Marvel fan, so I feel you. Like in like the queue when you've got all the videos of like all of the characters, like before you've even got on the ride, is the best, honestly. And
Yeah.
Guardians is like one of the best films and franchises.
It's just so fun.
Yeah.
Love it. Great shout. Going from favorite ride to favorite park, then what was your favorite park?
You go
So
first.
I think for me, I would probably say Epcot was probably my favorite, purely because I like food, and it's great to see different snacks and foods from everywhere. But I would put close second of Hollywood Studios. I would put it close second. But
Yeah.
Epcot would just nudge it for me.
Yeah, nice,
My
good shout.
Not stereotypical, that's not true, but Magic Kingdom, just the castle does something like, oh, it's just so magical. I love it.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Like when you see it, when you just kind of see that, and it's just like, I'm here. I've made it.
The
I'm like-
emotions just run wild. Like,
We had a joke recently because obviously just done Disney in California, and again, like my first time seeing it, and you go from seeing like the castle in Orlando, and it's like don't get too emotional and cry when we get in here. And she was like,
Yeah.
wait till you see the castle. And I think that was a funny moment as well, seeing that one compared to Orlando for the first time. I was like,
Orlando's just
it's-
it's just
it just
magic.
gets you.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom, great
Every-
shout. And it's a nostalgia thing, I think, with Magic Kingdom as much as anything as well, isn't it? It's the one. You think of Orlando, you think of Disney, you think of Magic Kingdom.
And
So-
I always think fireworks, like, I become like an emotional wreck for fireworks. Just has like, I don't know, just has a hold on me, doesn't it?
I would
It's
say
like,
if anyone sees us in Orlando when the fireworks are going off,
don't
she'll
look
probably
at
be
me.
crying. She's okay. Fireworks.
She's just having a moment. She's just having
Yeah.
like
Every time.
just
She'll be right back with you.
in your happiest place. Yeah. Oh, amazing. And Epcot's such a shout with regards to like the food. Did you do quite a lot of kind of like dining around World Showcase, getting different kind of snacks and stuff?
We honestly, it was trying food, actually getting snacks from the shops. I think we days and days we tried to get the frushi. Eventually we got it. It kept selling
Frushi.
out. That was
10-10.
that was awesome. But I think
Yeah.
food wise, not even from Epcot, from
Magic
Magic Kingdom, was the cheeseburger spring rolls. Wow.
Oh, different
Wow.
level. Different level. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Unreal.
made it.
It's a reason to go back. Literally,
Yeah,
just to
you would
have
wanna go
those.
back.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time we went up to the stand. They were like sold out, and I was like, oh no. I was like, we're just gonna have to
Devastated.
we walk
Look
past. We're gonna have to
around.
keep coming back, and it was. Yeah, I'm big on the food, and I think that's what we found. Like, it's true what people say, doesn't like? There's something for everyone at Disney, and whatever you
Oh,
like.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
great
good
stuff.
shout.
with food.
Good shout. Next one is your hidden gem. So hidden gem, or kind of like most underrated attraction. It's gonna be a tough one,
So-
if I'm honest.
So we didn't actually go. We went a bit rogue. We didn't go with an attraction. We went for like what we call our
Go
like
on.
hidden gem or thing we like to do in the
It's
park.
still Disney.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
I'm
where-
all for it. Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Is we love watching people get absolutely drenched on water rides or log flumes. We could stand there for ages,
Yeah.
and you standing where the kind of moment
Yeah, in
happens.
Universal, where we're still on like this bridge. Oh, it wasn't.
Like Dudley Do Rights or Pop
Yeah.
Rides.
We
It's
stood there for
hilarious.
like half an hour crying, and then when they come down off Jurassic Park,
That one as well was getting them, and it was just
we just stood there like whenever we needed a break, we'd just go and stand and watch these people on the water ride. It's so fun.
Oh, it's so funny, isn't it? It doesn't matter how many times you see people get wet, and like it's the people not wanting to get wet
Yeah,
and then getting
They're
wet
not
is the funniest thing.
my
they go
fa-
on like the rides and like they look like as soon as they see the waterfall, they're like, "Oh no, what's that?" And I'm thinking like, "You went on the ride,
You're
you
like-
knew what was happening." Like,
Do you know, my personal favorite is when people start using random things to protect themselves from the water, like bags, or they start like wrapping up a poncho, and I'm like, you're gonna get wet. Just
Yeah.
own it.
Just
Go for
embrace it. It's the panic, isn't it? It's like you just said. It's like you've literally signed up for this. You've gone onto this right. Surely you've seen the people coming off this dripping wet, and you've
Yeah.
gone onto it. What did you expect? Yeah, absolute shout. Love it. Honestly, I get you. It tickles me every time. Yeah, nice, good shout. And next one is most overrated ride. Then this is the potential controversial one.
Oh
yes, I remember.
I kind of led with this one. I don't know if you exactly agree. I guess you probably.
I think I
probably
had
do.
a different one, but I agree at the same time.
So for me, would be the Peter Pan ride in Magic Kingdom. Now, the reason I say this is I've been on it a couple of times. I get it; it's cool, but I can never like fathom why the queue line is ridiculously long across all Disney's. Like,
Yeah,
there's so many better rides to queue like over an hour for. Like every time you refresh, like 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. I'm like, I just
why?
don't
What?
be the fastest.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my, so sorry if anyone
Yeah.
else Peter Pan.
No, my one. It's a fan favorite, but like Seven Dwarfs, like the Mine Train. I don't get why it's always so long. Like,
The funny thing is, these two are the most common that come up in most.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, honestly, like if anyone listens to the podcast, they probably think that I just bash Peter Pan and Seven Dwarfs. But
just-
like,
I just
it's the lack
It's like
of
a
height
game.
requirement is as much as anything.
Yeah.
It's because of that anyone and everyone goes on these rides. And with Magic Kingdom, there's not especially with like Seven Dwarfs, there's not a huge amount in Magic Kingdom in terms of like thrill rides. So
Yeah.
people who at the time maybe had like a virtual queue for Tron all flock to Seven Dwarfs while they're waiting to go on Tron. Is what happened.
Honestly, with Peter Pan during the trip, I turned into like a right old man. Every time we walk past, I'm like, look, it's still on 80 minutes. Like, what's going on? And you go past 60 minutes. Like, seriously? It becomes a part of the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We try and
yeah.
avoid
Yeah.
every Disney park we'll go to. We did it. We've done it. We're doing it to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. You've done the queue once. That'll do it. Like, 100%. And the final question is best thing to do outside of the theme parks. Now, I appreciate obviously you did a lot of stuff in the theme parks, but was there a standout?
I would say probably for us, it's just probably would be the shopping, and then probably just kind of, I mean, linking in how we like to just explore and travel in general would just be, we're very good at just going out without necessarily a plan and just exploring and seeing where we do end up, right?
I think just like as well, trying the different like restaurants on International Drive. That's always fun. Your highlight outside of the park was going to McDonald's.
That McDonald's is
Pizza pasta.
unbelievable.
Yeah, good shout. And to be fair, being next door to your hotel as well, absolutely ideal. Just walk on over there.
Quite temptation. We're like, look, we can go a few times, but it's scarily close. We don't need to be there. You know, breakfast, dinner, like just relax. But I think like we're saying, going into it for myself, the amount of stuff and how long International Drive is. We're like, oh, we'll go to Chili's or we'll do this. I'm like, okay, we are now walking still.
I think as well for like Orlando in general. I think Florida. The time before I went with Harrison, I can't remember which beach it was, but we went to like one of the beaches and it was just like beautiful, and like we actually did a bit of surfing. I would really call it surfing because we weren't very good at it. More like just falling off in the sea. But you know, we had like the instructor trying to teach us, and I just thought, like, how cool is that? Like,
you can do Disney and
so it was like we had like a beach day and we just saw a whole different side, like Florida. And I think that's something when we go back is definitely just hopefully we'll be able to hire a car and like even for a day, like go on a adventure and just get out of like the initial Orlando bubble and like exploring around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like there is so much there. Like, I know I talk about it a lot. Being Orlando Adventures, I talk about outside of the park as much as I can, as much as the parks as well, because there is so much, and there's like it's kind of like untapped potential. But I will say that like to do a lot of it, you do need a car. It's for it to be accessible. So yeah, if hopefully, you know, if you do manage to get a car next trip, then the options there are plenty of options, especially with regards to like food and stuff like that. Like obviously there's a lot down International Drive, like there's a lot, but if you even driving like 5-10 minutes out, there's some really cool restaurants around that you can kind of find in and around Orlando. Yeah, nice, love it.
We just need the encouragement to drive the car. We're very scared to drive an automatic car for the first time.
Or even it's on the other side of the road or anything like that. Yeah. Like, oh, next time. Then we put the trip. Like,
if it helps at all, like, because I'm sure anyone who's driven there has been in the position. Like, I can't lie, the first 5 minutes are a bit terrifying, right? driving out the parking lot is up there with one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of your life. But once you get on the roads are super easy. They're so easy, and like there's a lot of straight roads. Once you work out the crossroads, straight roads and crossroads, like you're sorted.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be fine. You will be fine. Like get that first 5 minutes out of the way, you'll be like, yeah,
that's the plan. Then.
Yeah,
we'll try it
just for you. We'll give it a go.
Yeah. But go and get something. Maybe get something smaller first time. Then getting like a massive pickup truck. Like,
oh no! Smallest find.
Yeah, amazing. Well, that wraps up all my questions. So, like, genuinely, this has been such fun. I've been laughing and smiling my way through this whole episode. Absolutely loved it, and genuinely, like I'm loving your vlogs at the moment. So hopefully there's another Orlando series coming next year at some point, if we can make it happen.
Oh well, I mean, we speak things into existence, and once we've already been speaking about it into existence, and once we start doing that,
we get to the point where like
it normally happens,
and then we just go with it. So
yeah, love it.
No doubt there'll be a
we're
return.
excited.
Yeah, spot on. Cool. So this was the episode with Brogan and Harrison. I hope that you've all enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. They were an absolute blast to have a chat with. They were so funny, so easy to talk to, and their content at the moment is absolutely fantastic. So please do go and check them out on Instagram, on TikTok, and also on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you all in the next one.